I'd like to talk to you about vulnerability in the context of building your core confidence. So first of all, what is vulnerability? You probably heard this word many times, and I know that some of you may not know the definition. And look, I don't know any specific definition. I'm just going to tell you what it means to me. So to me, vulnerability is this willingness to embrace the discomfort of just going out there and exposing yourself to the world, exposing what's inside of you, your true emotions, your weaknesses, your failures, right? So it's this ability to essentially dance with your fear and discomfort where you can share how you truly feel about everything, right? Just being transparent in terms of your emotions and accepting that when you are transparent and that when people know how you feel, there is potential rejection, right? You may not get validation and approval from other people. So to give you an example, let's say that you are having a conversation at a dinner table and you are just not in the right state because you just went for a really rough breakup and you feel sad, you feel borderline depressed. Now you can try to pretend that everything is fine and still people will be able to sense that something is wrong. And you can try to put on a mask and say, look, I feel just fine, everything is okay, no problem, my life is amazing. Or you can embrace vulnerability and you can simply say, you know what, sorry guys, normally I'm a bit more upbeat, but I just went for a very rough breakup. So, I try to keep the positive energy going, but it's kind of bugging me. This is vulnerability, right? Being able to say how you truly feel, even though people may judge you, they may reject you, may not get approval from them. And it is really powerful, and it is important to talk about it in the context of building confidence, because way too many people have this misconception that being confident is about having this mask where you never feel any negative emotions, you never feel any weaknesses, right? There's this perception, for example, in Poland, where I grew up, that if you are a real man, you should never show your emotions. You should always have the same expression on you, right? Unemotional, you always feel tough, you always feel strong, you never struggle. But of course, if you are a human, it doesn't matter, how good your life is. We all struggle from time to time. When you look at some of the most famous martial artists, people who fight in the UFC, they speak very openly about struggling with all types of difficulties. Next week, I'm going to be interviewing Ollie Ollerton, who was in Special Forces in the UK. And one of the toughest guys in the world, right? He speaks very openly in his book, by the way, great book that he has written. He speaks very openly about struggling with depression and actually pondering suicide and feeling like, going from the top of the world to the bottom. And that is vulnerability, right? It's about being authentic. And authenticity comes from you just being able to summon enough courage, because you really need courage for that, to be transparent, to let people know how you truly feel. Even making those videos, look, I could be pretending that I've been always a confident person. I'm a natural and I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. But that's not being authentic, right? I would rather share with you my true story of growing up in Poland and facing social anxiety and also not knowing how to talk to women at some point, getting weirded out and stressed out. I want to share this because I know that you can relate, and we all have those problems, right? Everyone has some problems. And what I notice, what happens is when you embrace vulnerability, first of all, people connect with you more, right? People really bond with you at a deeper level. You have this real human connection. But because this course is primarily about core confidence, let's talk about that. So what happens to your core when you embrace vulnerability? Well, first of all, what happens is the pressure goes down. We often feel this pressure that we have to be on our A game all the time to get validation, approval from other people, from our parents, from our family members, teachers, mentors, etc., right? We feel like we always have to be the best at what we do. We always have to feel positive, but we are just humans. We are just humans. So when you realize that vulnerability is powerful, when you realize that it's the vulnerability that makes you authentic, that allows you to bond with people at a deeper level, that actually increases the respect people have for you, then suddenly the pressure to always be at your best goes down, it decreases. And when it decreases, it allows you to be yourself a bit more, right? It allows you to own some of the weaknesses and some of the negative emotions you experience from time to time. And you just feel light, you feel better. Okay, so vulnerability is really powerful. I have to tell you, from my personal experience, back in the day, of course, I tried to create the tough guy persona where I don't feel any emotions and I'm always tough and you can do anything to me and I'm gonna always keep my shit together. But as a human, I experience self-doubts. I experience moments of anxiety, of fear. It's normal. Everyone experiences that. And I remember that ever since I started talking about it openly, something shifted. And nowadays, as I talk to different people, whenever I embrace that vulnerability, whenever I remove the mask and I just tell people exactly how I feel about different things, it just bonds me to them so much more, and it helps me to cultivate those real, authentic human relationships. Plus, it makes me feel more confident in myself, because confidence is about being comfortable in your skin. And when you can get to the point where you feel comfortable, even with your discomforts, wow, that's the next level. People can sense it, right? So actually, you not only just feel more confident inside, but people also perceive you as a more confident and authentic person. So anyway, think about it in the context of your life, but this concept is so powerful.